I've seen some pretty shitty situations in my life, but nothing has ever sucked more ass than this.
Bring out the Juggernaut Brothers!
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Juggernaut Brothers. I am Lundstrom, and first and foremost, as usual, thank you for listening. I always want to thank you, always want to tell you how much I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy listening to the podcast, because I've enjoyed doing them. You know, it's been a lot of fun, and so far some good feedback, and it's been a good time. We didn't have an episode last week. I didn't have one in the hopper, and because of the cold and the Super Bowl, I wasn't able to get one done. I do apologize. It took me a couple days to be talked off a ledge by a SWAT team after that awesome performance by my Denver Broncos. So it was a tough week last week. You wouldn't want to hear from me anyway. It was just sadness. And you ever seen a fat guy cry himself to sleep? It's some of the saddest shit ever. So nobody wanted to see it, and you didn't have to. So I'm back. I'm back, baby. Guess what? If you want to get on iTunes or Stitcher, iTunes, subscribe, leave a rating and review, or Stitcher, just put us in your playlist and still leave a review. I always like hearing from you. You can do that. And what's the quickest way to find it? On the new website. That's right. I built a website, jugbro.com, jugbro.com, for short for the Juggernaut Brothers. On jugbro.com, you can see the pictures of everybody we're talking to. Obviously, you can get all the podcasts on there. There's a music tab, and the music tab is all the musicians we have had on the Juggernaut Brothers. Today, it's going to be Census to Destroy. I almost Systems of a Down. That'd be awesome. Census to Destroy, my good friend Sean Kelly and his band. He was on here once before. The song's called Choke. So after this, please listen to Choke by Census to Destroy at the end of the podcast. Great guys. And you can check out all the information on jugbro.com, as you can any music you've heard on the Juggernaut Brothers. In this episode, it turns into a Valentines episode or relationship episode. I don't know what it turns into. It gets to kind of a weird, serious talk. Some dating stories come out, but it takes like a half hour to get there. We didn't have a topic to begin with. We just kind of we were winging it. Did I say wing-dinged it? We were winging it, and somehow we ended up okay. So this was a fun podcast with Kirsten, Ecker, and Kevin Bennett, and you get a special Bob Gaudette signing at the end with a little story about his dating experiences in life. So make sure you listen to it. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and I do an apology. In the podcast, I got to eat a little crow, maybe a lot of crow, maybe a murder of crow. That's what I just said. It's gonna make more sense in like 20 minutes. Kirsten Ecker was telling me a joke she's going to finish with. We're at an open mic night. She's one of the comics on stage. She starts explaining a joke, and I tell her not to do it, that it's going to be lame and it's not going to go over well. And she did the joke, and it did go over well. I do owe her an apology, although I'm usually right. Kirsten, you just snuck by one, okay? So anyway, enjoy the podcast. Hope to hear from you, and take it easy. All right, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Juggernaut Brothers. I am here with actually, before we get started, I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'm at Pateros Brewery here in Fort Collins. NOCO. I was going to say Northern Colorado,
hey,
but
it is
NOCO.
North Fort Collins.
It is North Fort Collins.
True.
And the brewery is located at... I should have had this ready. I'm an idiot. It doesn't have an address on here. Do you know what the address is here?
It's on the card there. That's why I gave you the card.
No, up my ass. How about I introduce who I'm with today? We got returning people to the Juggernaut Brothers podcast, Mr. Kevin Bennett.
Howdy.
Or the French accent.
That is me.
Again, the son of the bitch. And the Juggernaut, right now the only Juggernaut sister, Kirsten Ecker. What's cracking, sis?
Eggs.
Eggs? Kevin has such a stoner laugh, doesn't he?
Oopsie daisy. What can I say?
We're gonna search his fucker for Snickers later. And now Mom can't listen to this podcast, Kirsten.
I know. Actually, I was gonna write down.
Snickers?
No, they cuss like no one's business, and I'm like, I cannot let my aunt and my mom listen to this because they can't hear past it. And so I was gonna make up a chart of how many times Bob and Moose are allowed to cuss on our next podcast.
Oh, and then just like point it out.
And I was gonna check it off as we go through. And then
She's giving us hashtags.
Once they reach it, then
you can't control
they're
me.
not allowed to. I
You can't
know.
control
it's your
me,
own
Bob.
podcast.
Well, you could try. But we are at Pateros Creek here, located at 242 North College Avenue, Fort Collins, Colorado. And I am drinking. Which one did you give me, Kev? The old.
I gave him the Old Town Ale.
This is a cool little brewery, and it's a cool little building. So this is going to be kind of the home for the Juggernaut Brothers for a while, or one of the many homes, I should say. And I really enjoyed it. We're doing an open mic night here tonight. it's kind of the every comedian you've ever seen, no matter how big, how little, has started off at like an open mic night like this. You know, so how long has this been going on? You run this, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I do. I run this. I walked in with a guy named Jason Novak, and him and I came in, and
that was me.
That was you. Oh no, he wasn't Jason. He was messing with the dingus.
Yes, the dingus.
We walked in. I sold the place, and him and I have been running this show since June of 2013. It might have been late May. Actually, it was May, June 2013. And every weekend we have had a pretty decent turnout. About 1 out of 6, it isn't packed. It's just there's people enough for a good open mic show, and that's a big deal because with comedy, you definitely get a lot of open mics where the primacy of the performers or of the audience are comedians. And that makes for a difficult show because comedians are kind of jaded. We forget how to laugh after a while.
Well,
I know. I hate performing in front of comics.
It's horrible. It's painful.
I don't anymore. I don't care. I'm a narcissist. You know what I mean? I just kind of do my thing. It depends. Like the Comedy Works downtown Denver, that's my kryptonite because that's the only place I still get nervous doing comedy. I don't ever get nervous anymore because I don't know. I was a fat kid growing up. I've been laughed at my whole life, whether I liked it or not, whether I'm asking for it or not. You know?
I was a little bowling ball on the playground myself. I was like Eric Cartman, but I wasn't a jerk. Like I was a nice kid.
You weren't a racist?
I was not a racist.
Okay.
No, I couldn't race anything. I was a fat kid. I was
well done.
I was a sadist. That's what I was. I sat. I actually, this is a true story. Anybody who listens to this who went to school with me in elementary school, all 20 of you will know this is true. I used to ride my bike to school, and I just leave my helmet on like for half the day because like I was like, I'll leave it on the playground. I'll be safer that way.
Try to blend with the special kids or what?
I was the only one wearing a helmet on the playground, so I didn't know there were. I went to school in Wyoming, and in Wyoming we didn't actually have special kids. They were just called students, and so no, I'm kidding. They're all very, very, very smart in Wyoming.
Are you buying this? Like, there was no special there
was definitely special ed kids. I'm sure Wyoming did not know how to identify them. That's what I think is happening.
He makes it sound
Kirsten. What's wrong with that kid? What? Why is that weird? That's not weird.
He just ain't right.
That's just how everybody is up here, so it's not a big deal, all right?
Well, we're not from fucking Georgia. We're from Wyoming.
But you made it sound like it was like 300. Like, when someone special comes out of the womb, they're like, kill it. That's why there's only 20 people in your class, you know? That's what you made it sound like, Kev.
I didn't mean to do that. That's because I'm actually from... no, there's... Wyoming...
the baby looks simple. Get rid of it. Where's the cliff?
Where's the baby cliff?
Come on, man.
It's next to
is that like an escarpment you throw kids off? No, it's the abortion doctor. His name's Cliff. We call him the baby Cliff.
Listen.
Might as well throw him off an escarpment. Hibbity-hop.
Here's the deal.
Hibbity-hop.
This Old Town Ale is delicious, by the way.
Good.
Here's the deal. We were looking for something to podcast about tonight. The original podcast is me, Bob, and Kirsten, and then one of the new guys, one of the comic that's kind of up and coming, an open micer, I guess, is the correct term, and that's going to be about hair metal. We're going to talk about hair metal. Hair metal.
Who's the up and comer open micer person?
As Bob will find him.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't chosen him yet.
No, he's not been the chosen one. There's been a few. Like Thomas Bullock. That's why he was on the podcast. Bob's my guy. You know what I mean? He's like, hey Bob, what do you think? You know, go touch somebody, Bob. You know.
Bob is solid. He's a solid.
He's
guy.
the godfather of Northern Colorado comedy. That's you know what I mean. Nothing goes on without Bob knowing. Huh?
No, Bob got it. He's got it. Got it.
Got it.
But I was asking while you were getting us beers, Kevin, you beautiful man, what we should podcast about. And Kirsten wanted to podcast about animal groupings.
Animal groupings.
Animal group names.
Okay,
names of groups of animals.
Like Felidae and
you're gonna challenge Kirsten because she's pretty good. She's pretty good at this.
What are the dogs?
So,
a pack. It's a pack, right?
No, there's a group name that's like. You mean I see. I see like a pack of dogs or a murder of crows.
Right.
I thought you meant like
that too. That's sick. You guys doing that? All right.
If you only have 2 crows, it's an attempted murder.
Wow. You liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Why don't you quiz him real quick, Kirsten?
What's a group of snakes called?
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
It's called a knot. And I actually don't know why it's a whole group of snakes, because I think you could actually achieve that with just one of them.
Yeah.
Honest. Just tie it together. I'll try to bite me, will you? Well, I'll hold your head and tie your butt around your midsection. What do you feel about that?
I don't remember much about a group of tigers.
A growl.
It's called an ambush.
An ambush. Mm-hmm. Oh, it would be.
No, it's not. Is that real?
Mm-hmm. That makes...
I know. An ambush of tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably makes sense.
Group of swallows. This one, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it so much.
It's called a whorehouse.
No, come on, you could figure this out.
A group of swallows.
Flock.
No, think about swallowing your beer.
A gulp.
Gulp.
Yes.
Really?
Gulp of swallows.
That's bullshit. Now, how do you know this? How do you know all this?
So I was on an improv panel show, like an expert panel show in Boston, and you had to be an expert in something. And I am an expert in math, but I didn't think that would actually... Like, I can make math jokes pretty quickly, but I just thought it would be kind of lame. And so I chose to be an expert in animal group names. So I just looked up like 50 of them and memorized them before the show.
You could be a math expert, but then you just come off looking like an asshole because nobody understands the joke.
So
wait till you see my set tonight. Thanks a lot.
I'm in.
So these two imaginary numbers walk into a bar and they run into a couple of negative numbers, and I don't have a punchline. I thought you
And so the second guy says to the third guy, 467.3. 467.3. And I was, oh my God, 0.3. Come on, is this thing on? Is that what it's going to be like, Kirsten?
Hey, man, that's not a square
That's
root.
most of my...
She's my Swedish juggernaut sister. I'm heckling her tonight. That's what's going to go down. I'm going to talk about tonight. My friend Tish. I'm going to name her by name. She doesn't listen to this. She should, but
that's what you get.
She put on Facebook the other day. When you get your dog the haircut, your dog's haircut, should you tip them?
The dog or the person?
The
who cut
person.
the dog's hair?
Why would you tip the dog, man?
I don't know. You said them. You have to be specific.
Most people
I'm a
de-tip the
grammar
dogs.
Nazi. They de-tip the dog.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's at the vet, though.
Oh,
She paid $35 to have the dog's haircut.
and then she tipped the dog.
Oh yeah, no. Do you tip a dog? Do you tip the
No.
person that cuts the dog's hair like you tip a human that cuts human hair?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't have a dog.
Really?
If you're paying
I got two.
$35 for a dog haircut that you could do yourself,
That's my point. Was you
yeah,
paid her
no.
$35? She wins anyway, right?
Yeah, she already got that.
Because I mean that's a pretty good gig. That I'm thinking cutting the dog's hair is a pretty good gig. 'Cause
Yeah, how long do you think it takes to cut a dog's hair?
I don't know. However long it takes for the tranquilizer to kick in, I guess.
yeah,
Do they give him a tranquilizer?
Oh.
They should, because if
The
I were
only
a
dog
dog
hair I understand is the hair of the dog, and that's usually the next morning.
Right.
What is that?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Hey, listen,
You know what
I'm
the hair of
from
the dog is?
Wyoming.
You don't know what hair of the dog
In
is?
Wyoming, we don't have euphemisms or colloquialisms. You know what we have? Common speech.
Turns out they have one simple kid. No.
I don't wonder he couldn't find the
They
others.
try to. It's like on that Dave Chappelle. Did you watch the Chappelle show? Where he's the blind black man, but they don't know how to explain to him he's black, so they just tell him he's white. They didn't know how to explain to old Kevy boy that he's simple. So they're like, everybody's
Wasn't
normal.
he a racist black man?
Yeah,
I
he
loved
was.
It.
It was
that,
hilarious.
That show was the funniest
That was
damn
pretty
show
good.
on TV,
And
wasn't
then
it?
Carlos Mencia is like, I'm going to tail off your fame. And everybody was like, wow,
Mind and See was a horrible show.
what a piece of crap. What a piece of crap.
I think Comedy Central kind of bombed it until the Tosh.0 came out.
Yeah, Tosh
You know?
kind of brought him back.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good show.
That is good.
So back to the animal names.
Well, hair of the dog, though, I think we should explain that to Kevin.
Yes, please do.
That is when you drink too much at night, and then the next morning when you wake up, you take like a shot. Like a Bloody Mary has vodka in it. It'll help
What
you.
the fuck does that have to do with dog hair?
But the full
Just a
term
little
is
bit of the hair of the dog that bit you.
Yeah.
It was a bad dog sometimes.
Wait, what? Slipping in the hair of the dog?
Well, I thought it was get a little bit of the hair of the dog.
A little bit of the hair of the dog that bit you.
Oh, I
Like dog
see.
bites
So
you,
like
you-
the dog bit you and you grabbed him and then you had some left.
It's like
Yeah.
a snake bit you, and then you use the venom that you make from the snake to make your better.
You know, there's a reason I don't know what hair of the dog... If that's what it takes to be special, I will, I will remain special.
I didn't say you're special. I just said you're sweet.
I said he's special. I am guilty of making
sorry.
that assumption
Sorry.
on the Kevy boy.
Yeah, I'm clumsy too. I bull in a china shop.
So you got new material tonight, Kevin?
Oh, I got some material.
Really?
Oh, I've got some
That
material.
accordion's gonna come out?
Oh, the accordion's coming out.
Are you Russian, French tonight?
Oh, I'm gonna be bipartisan. No, I'm gonna be both. I think I'm gonna do a little French and then I'm gonna do a little Rusky.
How come you don't do a Swedish accent?
Oh, yeah.
that's because the Swedish accent sounds so
I didn't say
You can only
I didn't say tard Swedish accent. See, now I gotta do it again. See, I just said the word again. I can't stop. But yeah.
Well, that's because if you're really going to do a Swedish accent, a lot of people aren't going to realize what you're doing for a long time.
see, I want to learn
need to practice
Swedish.
a little bit
Do
more.
you know Swedish at all? Any other language?
I can say taxomika.
Dasagu, Varsagu, right?
If you do
No, it's
Swedish, people
Taxameka,
think
right?
you're doing a bad German.
Taxameka, Varsagu,
Taxamek, Darsagu,
Varsagu.
Varsagu, Peter Sarsgaard.
I want to learn Swedish. I want to get the Rosetta Stone and learn Swedish. And just to be an asshole to things, like when you apply for jobs that you have to be